Indy's only 24/7 local live streaming news option. This is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
I'm WRTV's Nicole Griffin. Thanks for joining us for the news at 7. Here are today's top headlines. A death investigation is underway after a person was found dead in the parking lot of a South Side apartment complex this morning. Just after 5 a.m., police got a call about an unresponsive person outside the Autumn Chase Apartments. That's on Fairgrove Drive near South Sherman Drive and Stop 11 Road. Medics pronounced the person dead at the scene. We're told this was some sort of traffic incident, but the investigation is ongoing. IMPD has made an arrest in a recent homicide case. On October 14th, officers found a man with a gunshot wound on St. Paul Street. That's on the southeast side near Raymond and Keystone. That man later died. We are not releasing the name of the suspect since he hasn't been formally charged yet. These latest incidents are part of the growing trend of deadly violence in the Circle City. So far this year, there have been at least 222 homicides in Indianapolis. At this time last year, there were at least 193 homicides. Last year ended with 245 homicides, which is the single-year record. City and community leaders are taking major steps to tackle Indy's crime problem. We'll have more on the $1.3 billion budget the City County Council approved Monday night, which includes millions for violence prevention initiatives. But first, let's check in with Kevin for a look at your forecast.
And Nicole, with a dry night forecast, it's falling temperatures that will follow. 62 right now. Temperatures, they'll fall into the upper 40s, so nothing real cold. Still no frost within the forecast over the next week as we tiptoe to the end of the month. I will mention this, nearly full moon rising tonight. Check that out. It will be full tomorrow night. Temperatures will be at their warmest tomorrow. Breezy south winds, some sunshine, and 73 degrees.
A major step forward in the fight against crime in Indianapolis. The City County Council has approved Mayor Hogshead's budget proposal, which includes $150 million to fund violence reduction efforts. Much of that anti-crime money will be spent over the next 3 years. The budget also includes $200 million to improve roads, trails, sidewalks, and bridges.
This process wouldn't be possible without the help of 25 City County councilors who have helped to identify where there are needs within their community, as well as the work of our public safety officials, of our departments that have helped us to flesh out where there are areas that could need additional impact and how we can leverage these funds to do the most good for our community.
The anti-violence plan will fund grants for community groups, mental health resources, as well as new and upgraded technology to support crime fighting. It will also help pay for an extra 100 police officers, plus civilian safety officers, as well as peacemakers who are trained to prevent conflict. A four-legged member of IMPD is getting a big celebration to celebrate retirement. Indy Mounted Police horse Cody is leaving IMPD to go to an animal-assisted therapy farm. Cody has served Metro Police for 16 years. He partnered with police officers to assist with crowd control, welcoming visiting dignitaries and marching in parades. Cody's new home will be at Amatola Care Farm, which is a nature-based wellness center in Mooresville.
Every Tuesday, people in Anderson can come here to the corner of Rabel and Nickel to get groceries and other necessities.
Okay, you can have some syrup or some carrots. If no one else is going to help us, we have to stand up and help ourselves.
Marilyn Collier has been passing out free food, baby diapers, and other household staples on this corner for more than a year. Volunteers from the community stepping up with donations and time.
Can you hand me a dish soap, please? Yep.
It's all part of the 765 Food Desert Project, an initiative that came out of a group called Gathering of the Queens, the Royal Sisterhood.
The Gathering of the Queens started because it was my 60th birthday, and I promised the Lord if He would let me get there, that I would do something for our community.
I think it's a wonderful thing that they're doing.
Pam Stokes lives in the area. She says the closure of grocery stores around her home has made it inconvenient to get basic needs.
Because you got to drive across town, to get to a grocery store, and I feel sorry for the people who don't have, transportation.
And the lack of suitable grocery options on the west side of Anderson is not a new issue. In fact, it's been building up for years.
It started actually in 2007 when Payless closed. Okay. And then in 2017, when Marsh closed, that was the end of it. That actually started a full food desert.
Collier chose this spot to try and help as many people as she can. It's walking distance to area apartment complexes. Usually, her group helps around 125 people each week. She says she'll keep showing up every Tuesday to make sure the people in her community get what they need.
Our motto is community, better, stronger, together. If we can stick together, we can make the situation better for ourselves. We can't wait for people to do it for us. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm Melissa Donovan, WRTV.
Scammers are using the pandemic to trick you into giving up your information and your money. Coming up, WRTV Investigates looks into the new tricks they're using and what you need to know to protect yourself.
Live streaming 24/7. This is WRTV News at 7. Streaming now.
COVID-19 in the Hoosier State is easing, but we're not out of the woods yet. The 7-day positivity rate is holding steady at 8.8%. That number has decreased significantly over the past month. And health officials report another fall in COVID-related hospitalizations. As of Monday, 1,551 people were in Indiana hospitals because of the coronavirus. That is the lowest number of COVID hospitalizations since August 16th. Meanwhile, a new development in the fight against the virus, the United States is expected to authorize the mixing and matching of COVID-19 booster shots this week. That means if you originally got the Moderna vaccine, you wouldn't have to get a Moderna booster. You could possibly get a Pfizer or the Johnson & Johnson booster instead. The Associated Press reports that the Food and Drug Administration could make the mixing and matching decision this week, while also likely authorizing boosters of the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson shots. It would follow the authorization last month of a third dose of the Pfizer vaccine for many Americans. But the FDA is also expected to say that using the same brand for a booster is still preferred. COVID-19 is still having an impact on our lives here in central Indiana, and scammers know this. That is why they're using the pandemic as an opportunity to offer you COVID-19 deals. We talked to an Indianapolis woman who got a Facebook message from her friend's sister. Her Facebook contact said she had received COVID compensation. The message directed her to a website where she answered some questions to qualify. They told her to send them $300 through a Bitcoin ATM. When they asked her for even more money, she knew it was a scam.
But at the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, well, if this girl said it happened to her and she got hers and I know her, that means this must be something legit. And I've also recovered from COVID. So that must be, and I know that there's COVID compensation.
Scammers are hacking into Facebook accounts and impersonating your friends, making it difficult to gauge what's real and what's not. That is what happened in this case. The Better Business Bureau says they're seeing an increase in complaints about claims offering COVID-19 deals. They can come as a text, email, phone call, or social media message and appear to be from the government or a reputable company. In reality, they're just scammers trying to get your money and personal information.
Live streaming 24/7. This is WRTV News at 7. Streaming now.
Supply chain issues continue to be a drag on the economy, and a new report shows how it's plaguing the housing market. The Census Bureau says housing starts, or the number of new homes being built, dropped 1.6% last month, and permits for future homes fell 7.7%. The numbers came in a bit lower than expected and reflect the stubborn challenges facing builders, a lack of materials, and inability to fill jobs.
They can't grow fast enough, so the supply of housing is at a shortage.
Anyone in the market for a new home right now knows the pickings are slim and the competition is fierce.
Looking at a home and 10 minutes later, there's offers and multiple offers on them.
That demand from potential buyers outweighs the supply chain stress, according to a survey from the National Association of Home Builders released Monday. Builder confidence in the single-family market rose in October, demonstrating hope that the pressure will ease.
Several headlines worth mentioning. Warmest day of the week. All the pieces of the puzzle come together for a great Wednesday. Early Thursday, maybe some leftover showers from overnight tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Won't stick around long. End of the week will be much different than what we expect over the next 24 hours, and it's because cooler air will take over. The shower chances are sparked by a cold front tomorrow night, and you see the impact. It will send our temperatures to their coolest point on Friday afternoon, where temperatures will stay in the 50s. Chance of rain really begins later tomorrow night, certainly well after dark, and then into the morning hours. Thursday, lots of clouds as we end the work week, but it looks like Friday is just dry and very cool. The wind out of the south-southwest strengthens during the day tomorrow. It will be out of the west-northwest, though, as we get to Thursday. Enjoyed these temperatures. As I mentioned, they're the warmest within the 7-day planner, as many spots will push 75 degrees, and that comes with plenty of sunshine. I want to show you the 7-day forecast. Temperatures are coolest Friday at 59. We bounce back, but not a lot over the weekend. 62 Saturday. Chance for showers to end the weekend. Notice what happens early next week as temperatures start to climb once again. Lows will be back into the 50s, highs into the lower 70s by next Tuesday.
The Defense Department unveiled its COVID-19 vaccine mandate for its civilian workers. According to guidance from the department, workers who refuse to get vaccinated could face several repercussions. Those include a 2-week suspension without pay and possible termination for, quote, failing to follow a direct order, end quote. The deadline to get vaccinated is November 22nd, which is also the date of when enforcement actions are set to begin. Tuesday marked day 2 of jury selection in the Ahmaud Arbery murder trial. The 25-year-old black man was out for a jog in Brunswick, Georgia in February 2020 when he was killed. 3 white men are accused of chasing down and killing him. Gregory McMichael, his son Travis McMichael, and their neighbor William Roddy Bryan Jr. are charged with malice and felony murder and have pleaded not guilty. They also face charges of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal contempt to commit false imprisonment. A U.S. Capitol Police officer has pleaded not guilty to charges connected to the U.S. Capitol riots. Tuesday, Officer Michael Riley entered his not guilty plea to 2 counts of obstruction of justice in court. Riley is accused of trying to help a rioter who took part in the January 6th insurrection. Prosecutors say the officer told the person online to take photos and videos of the attack off of social media. Authorities say the accused rioter informed the FBI of their communications. Riley is the first police officer on duty on Capitol Hill that day charged in relation to the insurrection. An officer for the U.S. Public Health Service made history Tuesday. Dr. Rachel Levine was sworn into the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps as a 4-star admiral. She is the first female and first openly transgender 4-star officer with the agency. The commissioned corps serves in various healthcare roles around the world in service to public health.
This country was built by immigrants, and that has to continue that mission.
It's a mission Bibi Barami is hoping continues in Muncie, Indiana. That's why she founded the Muncie Afghan Refugee Resettlement Committee, better known as MARC. Helping others is her passion, and Barami knows all too well the journey those at Camp Atterbury are going through.
I am a strong believer in my faith, that I'm a very positive person. I'd say, okay, God has a better plan for all of us.
At 13, Barami and her family fled to a refugee camp in Pakistan from Afghanistan and lived there for 6 years. In 1986, she resettled in Muncie, reuniting with her now husband, and went on to get her GED, then a degree in accounting at Ball State, all the while raising 6 children.
A lot of cultural shock. I didn't speak any English. I started from ABC like a child.
After 9/11, Barami began directly helping families in Afghanistan. That's when she started Awaken. In the years since, the nonprofit has helped more than 100,000 people with a focus on healthcare, education, and vocational training.
We have been working tirelessly for the last 20 years.
Barami's focus now is with Mark. The committee is still in its infancy. It only started about 5 weeks ago, but already it sent a truckload of donations to Camp Atterbury.
I'm very grateful for my community and other people around Indiana to help with the resettlement of these refugees.
Muncie's mayor is hopeful that Mark can make an economic impact on the city.
We are open and that we are trying to move forward, and we will continue to look at new ideas and new opportunities.
What my goal for Muncie is always to bring us together as a unified community, that we're working together. We can be a sample to other cities.
Working for you, Nikki Dementri, WRTV.
Indy's only 24/7 local live streaming news option. This is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
Hundreds of Indianapolis public school families are getting some help keeping their students warm this winter. Colts tight end Jack Doyle and United Healthcare teamed up to distribute winter coats at Lew Wallace Elementary School on the west side.
We believe that being safe, being healthy, being warm is an intricate part of education, and we're hopeful these new coats will allow the students to remain focused on their education as they continue to prepare for their next steps in life.
As I was watching the students pick up their coats and making their choices, their faces were just full of laughter and smiles. We know that for some of our families in Indianapolis Public Schools that this will be a great benefit for their families to have the coats provided, so we thank you for that.
A $20,000 grant from the Dream Builders Foundation helped pay for 500 new coats and other accessories like hats and wellness kits.
William Minion works part-time on the environmental services team at IU Health University Hospital.
I do anything from just cleaning, delivering needle boxes, transporting beds.
He juggles work with classes at IUPUI, but his passion is art.
I put this up, I want to say, last week.
His whiteboard drawings began earlier this summer in the hallway leading to the OR. Minion works on them during his downtime at the hospital.
It's really different because I'm used to working with pencil, so with pencil I have a lot of control.
This blank canvas has sported a lizard, horse, and even a blue jay, all done in Expo marker.
When I look at a piece I did, I'm glad that I was able to kind of get an idea of what I had in my head onto the whiteboard.
Many times, the doctors, nurses, or really anyone who walks by will leave a note or share their gratitude with the budding artist.
Our hidden gem of talent. Amazing. This guy is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Minion's art brightening the days of these frontline heroes.
Sometimes I might not feel like drawing it, but to see the response people have, it makes me definitely want to just put something up.
And he never thought his art would go viral until it did.
Okay, here's the tweet.
That's first-year general surgery resident Dr. Megan Lark.
This was a picture of when it was still in process, and so he wrote loading at the top.
She first saw the drawing earlier this month, tweeting it shortly after.
When I felt all of the inspiration and just the appreciation for it, I knew that other people would appreciate it too. And so the thought I had was, like, people need to see this.
Lark's tweet garnered some 90,000 impressions. The resident says she's not surprised Minion's artwork resonates.
It gives you like a little nudge of like, all right, like, you got this, you can do this. Like, look at what this amazing person did with just a whiteboard marker. That's incredible.
As for what's next in the whiteboard art series, Minion says he's taking requests.
Giraffe and lion right now are the most requested.
In Indianapolis.
I will erase it eventually. Sometimes it's kind of sad, but it doesn't take too long to put another one up.
Nikki Dementri, WRTV.